Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to NXT's Deadline 2023 review. I am very sorry that this isn't being recorded live. It is the morning after. I literally just was feeling like a pile of crap last night, so I just went to bed nicely. So, we are kicking things off with Shawn Michaels. Okay, explaining that it's the last pay-per-view of the year. That's awesome. And basically just turns around and asks, are you ready? Well, shit on a shingle. Punk's debut. Holy shit, Punk. Alright, okay. Oh, okay. Punk showed up. So, give me a moment, see what he starts saying, and I'll be back in a minute. So Punk comes out and basically says, basically just in no uncertain terms, explains the Triple H and he has made up because Bret and Shawn made up. Punk's wearing a Bret Hart jumper, and basically says, am I going to Raw, am I going to SmackDown, or am I going to possibly come to NXT? I actually think NXT would be a better positioning for Punk. On a personal, my personal feeling, having Punk at NXT would definitely improve NXT's just being. If he says what he says, if he says who he says he is, NXT would be the best choice for him. But I think he's going to go to Raw. We have Randy Orton on SmackDown. I don't really think Punk deserves to go to SmackDown because of the Universal Championship and whatever the fuck's going on with that. But again, we'll see where this goes. We'll see, at the Rumble. We could possibly get Punk winning the Rumble, and then he challenges for either belt, and we can find out. So we'll find out where that happens. But our official show is kicking off with Dragon Lee taking on Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. And hopefully Wesley's injury, his back surgery goes 100% well and he is back to wrestling soon. Get well soon, Wesley. So let's not waste any more time and get to our North American Championship matchup. So we just had Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio for the North American Championship. And this was a fun matchup. A little bit of a sloppy moment. Not sloppy, but a little bit of a miscommunication between Dom and Dragon when they were going for the double powerbomb spot. Double powerbomb over and then over again and ban. But really covered well from Dragon Lee and Dom. I thought it was really good. That was really nice. Dragon Lee gets the win and is the new North American champion. I don't know about this one. I feel like this should have been Wesley's moment for obvious reasons. And Dragon, Wesley's injured. It sucks that Wesley is injured. It really is. But Dragon Lee gets his first championship in NXT, which is the North American Championship. It's really good. I'm very happy that Dragon Lee wins. But I feel like Dom should have retained. But you've only done so much with Lee. You've already done so much with Dom. It's like, how can you do... What else can you do with Dominic bar just taking him into the main roster now? And I think really this is his... the rematch will happen. Dom will Dom will lose the rematch and then he will stay on the main roster. I don't think he'll be coming back to NXT personally. But even Dragon Lee being in the main roster, it's going to be a little bit awkward. So maybe they'll find a way to bring Dragon Lee and Dom back to NXT just until Wesley's back, gets the title, and then wins it. So we don't know yet. We'll see what happens with that. But again, a very good way to open up the show with the North American Championship. Personally, I think it should have been one of the Iron Survivor matches, but we'll see how that goes. So let's not waste any more time, guys, and let's get to our next contest and see what's that going to be. So we just had the women's Iron Survivor matchup, and in layman's terms, it's two participants start the match. Every 5 minutes, a new participant enters, until all 5 are entered, but you can still get pinfall, submission, or disqualification by doing that, and then you go in the penalty box for 90 seconds. They've basically taken TNA's King of the Mountain match, but taken out the ladder portion of it, and I think it works really well. I do enjoy this. So it's Blair Davenport, Tiffany Stratton, God, give me a second, Fallon, Haley, Lakini, and Lash. So this was really fun. This was a really fun matchup. Surprising that Davenport wins this match. Davenport wins it 3 points. Fallon had 1, Lakini had 0, Lash had 2, and Tiffany had 1. I would have thought it'd be Tiffany Stratton winning, but no. Blair Davenport wins. Valkyrie comes out, and then Coda J comes out, returns, and has her eyes set on the NXT title. So very interesting, very intriguing. So we will get to our next matchup and see what happens. So we just had Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King, and I thought Lexis King looked a little bit familiar to me, so I did a little bit of research. He's fucking Brian Pillman Jr., which I didn't realise. I was like, he looks familiar. Oh, he's Brian Pillman Jr. So he's decided to ditch the name of Brian Pillman Jr. to basically leave that in the past and stuff like that, I think is what the storyline is. I think I have mentioned that in the previous review of mine from NXT. I'm not entirely sure. If I have, I do apologise. If I haven't, yeah, it's Brian Pillman Jr. I didn't realise that. Match is fucking brilliant. It's Carmelo Hayes and it is Lexis King. Really fucking good matchup. Yeah, I think it was a good matchup. Carmelo gets the win. So somebody attacked Carmelo, Trick Williams, earlier in the year to basically take him out of a number 1 contenders match for the NXT Championship, which was won by Baron Corbin, who we are going to have in the main event tonight, which is going to be Ilya Dragunov versus Baron Corbin. My God, that's going to be a good matchup, and Ilya is definitely going to win, because why would you put the belt on Baron Corbin nicely? So yeah, looking forward to that one. And Trick is also in the men's Iron Survivor matchup. Trick versus Elio? I can see that. I can actually see that happening, but I've just had a look at who else is on the card in that match, and yeah, it's going to be Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to our next matchup. So far, show's been good. So just by looking at it as well, we are going to have Blair Davenport versus Valkyrie for the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Evil. Okay, that's interesting. And then the men's match is going to be at New Year's Evil. So this is setting up the actual first pay-per-view of the year for NXT. So we've got already confirmed for New Year's Evil, Blair Davenport versus Vila Valkyrie for the NXT Women's Championship. So this will determine who will face either Ilya Dragunov or Baron Corbin for the NXT Men's Championship. And so far we've got Dominic Dijakovic coming out, and who is going to be his opponent? Briggs. Okay. Now, if I recall, these guys are part of Country Grits, Josh Grits, with Fallon Haley, who was in the women's matchup last night, earlier on in the show, not last night, fuck's sake, Pete. So, let's not waste any more time, get to this matchup. Well, shit on a shingle! I am surprised. We had Trick Williams, Briggs, yep, Briggs, we had Dominic Dijakovic, we had Tyler Bates, we had Braun Breaker in this matchup. This was fun. This was a hell of a close matchup. Holy crap. This was close for the longest period of time. Briggs had 2, Bates had 3, Breaker had 3, Dijak had 3, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the last, a minute and a half, Trick gets not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 pinfalls on everybody and wins the Iron Survivor Challenge to become the new #1 contender to the NXT Men's Championship at New Year's Evil. Holy shit, I like this matchup. This was awesome. This was a great matchup. And the crowd went nuts when Trick wins the match. People are enjoying Trick. Whatever the storyline is going on with Trick and Carmelo, we'll see that. It's going to turn out that Carmelo attacked Trick to begin with, and he's going to cost Trick the match at New Year's Evil. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But tonight, Trick Williams manages to get the win and a cheeky little knee, and then a 1, 2, 3 on Braun Breaker of all people gets the win for Williams. Holy shit, this was a fun matchup, entertaining matchup as well. I can't wait to see this match with Trick versus the NXT Men's Champion. We'll see what happens then. But now it's time for our semi-main event. It is the Steel Cage match. Let's get to it. So we just had Kiana James and Roxanne Perez in the Steel Cage match. This was fun. This was a very, very entertaining matchup. I thought it was good. Not a normal Steel Cage match to a point, but it was very, very entertaining. Carmella James gets the win after someone gets involved. I do apologise about that. Give me a moment. I need to double check who gets involved in the match. But costs Roxanne Perez the match, and Kiana James wins by escaping the cage. Fun little matchup, entertaining, semi-main. Yeah, you know, it is a good semi-main matchup. So, also on the pre-show, we had Axiom versus Nathan Frazier. I believe that's happened quite a few times on the show, but it was fun nonetheless. It was a Spanish Fly, Golden ratio kick gets the win for Axiom. So now, it is time for our main event. It is Ilya Dragunov taking on Baron Corbin. Again, Dragunov's winning the match. Like, I like Baron Corbin, but you don't put the belt on Baron Corbin. I'm sorry, but you don't. Let's watch it. So we just had Ilya Dragunov taking on Baron Corbin for the NXT Championship. This was a fun matchup. A lot of story going into it with Ilya's Dragunov's son being involved, his father being involved, you know, family being involved. This was a hard-hitting matchup. Corbin gave as good as he got as good as he gave, as the old saying goes. But in the end, 3 forearms to the head and a torpedo Moscal gets the win and the retention for Dragunov. This was a fun matchup, very entertaining. And at the end of the night, Trick Williams comes out to basically say, that belt is mine come New Year's Evil. But we also saw Carmelo Hayes come out as well. I don't think Trick saw that, to be fair. We'll find out on NXT on Tuesday. This was a fun show. This was really good. This was entertaining. This is the last show of the year for NXT. And in general, this is the last show for NXT, for WWE. Was it good? Yeah, it was. NXT has been killing it with the pay-per-views. I know I've missed a few over the past few months, but they have killed it with the pay-per-views. I've enjoyed the pay-per-views, to be honest with you. They have been so entertaining and so much fun. So, last WWE pay-per-view was a banner, and when this is all said and done, we have 2 matches set for New Year's Evil, and I can't wait for New Year's Evil. I'm going to be looking forward to it. It's the first NXT show of the year, and funnily enough, it is January 2nd, which is the Tuesday. Can't wait for that. So, with that being said, I will see you next week for the CWS, and as always, guys, part 2 of the Fallout 4 DLC playthrough of Far Harbor is up here, and down below here will be the next episode, which will be the episode of the CWS from SummerSlam 2013. If you haven't checked them out already, please go check them out. That's absolutely fun. But I will see you next week for the CWS on Wednesday. So, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.